Join Joe, John, and Jim as they discuss the biggest stories in the world of sports.
You put them all together, it makes a nice package, right?
Get ready
for passionate and intelligent conversation about the biggest issues and personalities in sports.
It's unscripted.
Somehow got mono. God knows who he was making out with.
Some people call him dirty. I like to call him creative.
It's unfiltered.
I'm going to need another beer soon.
And I said, well, hold, you're making my point, right?
My thoughts are I'm going to call my therapist after the show is what I'm going to do.
What's up, Bean Apple fans? Welcome to the Week 13 recap reaction show for the Jets, Giants, and Patriots. And I would unequivocally say is the most wild weekend of football that I could remember for all three of our teams. Just insane. I don't really know. Like there's a lot of words that you could use to describe what actually happened today. But I don't think my vocabulary expands that far. But just insane, crazy. The Jets game down to the last minute. Almost lost Trevor Lawrence, but we pulled him back from the depths of Jacksonville. So thank God. Crazy New England. What? I can't wait to get into this.
I told you.
And the Giants. And the Giants with the upset of the season this year. Hands down.
I told you, and so did New York Giants. We both said it. So
the biggest upset.
You guys did.
Biggest upset. So, so let's break it down. I think we're all pretty happy. This should be a pretty fun show. Please, as always, guys, subscribe, hit that bell. Make sure you're with us every episode. Get your thoughts in. Get your comments in. Let us know what you think. I am pretty sure I could speak for the entire fan base of all of our teams. Maybe the Jets. There's a little bit of back and forth. Like there's some weird people out there that want the Jets to win a couple games for some reason and end up with the 5th pick. But outside of those crazies, I think everybody else is kind of over the moon right now. So kind of let us know what you're thinking, how you feel as we go. And please subscribe and share this. Get the word out to your friends, family. Catch us every week as we do this. So help us grow, and we'll do this together. So with that, let's start out with the New York Giants. Massive upset in Seattle. I can tell you people are not happy around here.
Come on. Well, hey, that's what you get. I mean, we came to play, right? We said we were going to come in and play. We said we have to go back and look at the tape because we said it was going to be a low-scoring game too. I don't remember what score I called, but I don't think it was 17-12, but it was probably pretty close to that. Right? I mean, 19-14 or something. I don't know what I said there, but we'll have to go back and listen. But I'll tell you what. I mean, the Giants came to play today. The defense, unbelievable. I mean, the pressure they put on Russell Wilson today, I said 21-17. Thank you. I was close. I had the right numbers, 1-7-1-2. I should have played the pick 4. I would have had it boxed. But I'll tell you, I don't know if I've seen Russell having that much pressure on him, running around, getting knocked down, getting sacked. I mean, they blew up every play he had. I mean, any kind of play action, they were all over it. They were spying him. They were knocking out the screen pass. They had everybody covered. He's back there. You can count to 12. There's nobody open for 54 minutes of the game until he finally finds Carson in that, garbage time touchdown there at the end. But I'll call it garbage time. Maybe you will.
Of course it was, yeah.
But, I mean, it was just unbelievable. I mean, aside from the safety, I mean, 5-0 at halftime, right? No one would have thought that. The safety was a fluke play. Thankfully, it did get out of bounds before they fell on making it 10-0, but 5-0 at halftime. And then here comes Alfred Morris, right? I mean, so here's what's surprising to me more than anything. They had to bank on just load up the box, stop Goldman, make Colt McCoy beat you. And we ran right through them. I mean, Goldman had the one big run. We had 190 yards rushing to their 111, right? I mean, Goldman was running all over the place. He had that big run, 60 yards or whatever, and then your boy there, Jamal Adams, caught up to him, who was all over the. I'll tell you what, that kid played some game. Jamal Adams was all over the field today, making all kinds of plays. And
that's what he does.
Sacks. I mean, he was something else. Jabril Peppers was trying to go head to head with him. He sacked. Jabril got a sack, and trying to keep up with what Jamal Adams was doing. But and then we were talking about DK. So yeah, DK had 5 catches for 80 yards, but he didn't do anything special. I mean, Bradbury was on him for most of the game and pretty much held him down. So that was good to see. And like I said, we went in here without Jones. I wanted to have Jones in, have our full strength versus their full strength, and see what we could do. And we go in there with Colt McCoy. And I'll tell you what, Jason Garrett said, hey, the playbook's open. We're running the same plays that we run with Jones. We're not holding anything back. And we were throwing balls. I still don't like, and I know, John, you don't either, that we weren't targeting Slayton. Slayton had 1 catch in the fourth quarter.
One target all game.
And I don't understand if he's not getting open. I know he's probably drawing their number 1, but Ingram's got catches, Shepard's got catches, everybody else is catching the ball, everybody else is getting targeted. Slayton, at one point, I forgot he was even in the game. Golden Tate had a couple of catches. But then he caught that ball in tight coverage to get that first down at the end of the game, which was right when we needed it. So that was a great play by him. But the O-line, the D-line, the pressure we were getting, and then and knocking Wilson around all game was just I love to see it. I love to see it. You guys,
so I didn't watch any of it.
Did you guys see it?
I didn't. Yeah. I was watching the Patriots shut out the Chargers, but we'll get to that after. But what I did look at was, of course, the highlights or the stats of that game. And what I found impressive is that they held Seattle to 12 points, but they gave up 374 yards, somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. So they gave up quite a bit of yardage. But then I started peeling the onion back. They had 5 sacks. They had 10 pass deflections. They had 7 pass deflections, 10 quarterback hits, 4 total fumbles, 2 lost on the Seattle side. So they were just hitting all game.
Oh yeah.
Colt McCoy, he looked like a backup, of course, but I'll tell you what, the running game sure didn't. They ran for, like you said, 190 yards. I took Gallman in both of my DraftKings, which is going to make me about $40 today for a $6 investment, which isn't bad. But I would have liked to seen a touchdown by him. I mean, I was a little hurt that he ran for that many yards. If you're gonna help Jim win the game, at least give me a touchdown in my DraftKings. That's all.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you what, I mean, I didn't see the game, but I mean, something had to have gone terribly wrong. And when you start looking at the defensive numbers for the Giants, you see exactly how they won the ball. That's old school Giant football right there. Mm-hmm. That's O.J. Anderson. Yeah,
that's right.
O.J. Anderson, uppercut football boy. Yep, tight end play. Ingram had 4 catches. I think Tate had 4 and everybody else had 1. He had 13 completions, which you knew what you had with Colt McCoy. He's a backup for a reason. So hopefully Jones can get back for you guys. Yep. But I mean, very impressive beating Seattle. I mean, that's a huge win. Especially with Philly losing. I believe Philly lost, right? I didn't see the score of that game. Yep. Last I looked, it was 30-16, I want to say. So now you're just going to keep Washington off your heels. But
we beat them twice. But that's the key. They play Pittsburgh tomorrow, right? So we'll see what that looks like.
Let's not call them the GOAT yet, but we will
on our team. On our team, he means
we will for this game. Right. But I still don't understand the whole Slayton thing. I mean, he's the best receiver on that team. I don't get it unless they're decoying him. I mean, we can't say it's just because of McCoy because, I mean, Jones wasn't targeting him either. So
right. But, I mean, I've been saying for weeks now that the defense is gelling. The defense is playing better. So we're top 10 defense now, the Giants. Top 5 in the run. I mean, so you don't think about that, right? But, man, so I've been saying I'm not worried about the Ravens and something crazy may happen with Seattle and with Arizona. So you look at our next couple of games. We got Arizona coming up who's kind of sputtering along. We got the Browns. We got Dallas. These are all winnable games. These are all winnable. I mean, I'm not going to be surprised if we win out. I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm not going to be surprised if it happens because they're playing and even the 2 losses we had, 1 point and 2 points. We won the game. We had a game against Dallas where they got a catch at the end, 45-0. But yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, the Giants still have a chance to finish 9-7. They still have a chance to finish 9-7.
I mean, they've won 4 in a row, so they got the momentum going. They
That's
have
right.
Dallas.
Once you taste that, what's this taste? Oh, it's victory. I want to get some more of this. Yes.
and I mean, up next week they're playing a Cardinals team now that they're struggling. They're struggling big time.
Right. That's right.
So and then a Cleveland team, which I mean, not to go off on a tangent. Jesus, what was that today? What they did to Tennessee?
No sense.
I'm still not sold on Baker Mayfield. I still think he sucks, but I think every player has their day. But sorry, let's get back to the Giants.
Yeah. No, but like you said, I think we're going to be playing Arizona at the right time. Maybe Kyler's still not right. I don't know what the deal is with him, but they've been sputtering. He threw a pick 6 late in the game today.
Yeah. That was his best pass all game too, by the way.
And that's a 4-game losing streak for them, and if not for that Hail Murray against the Bills, would be a 5-game losing streak.
Right.
So and they've got to come right. They got to come cross country. So Kyler does not look right. Something's going on there. It's it didn't look right against the Patriots last week. He did not look right this week against the Rams. So you're definitely hitting that at the right time. The Browns, they're the Browns, man. Like, you're not surprised if they score 6 points. You're not surprised they score 45 points. It's like
they got weapons. They have weapons, but they just they're either on or off. I mean, there's a lot of teams like this in the league this year that you don't know really what you have with them. I mean, they're scary. I mean, you look at even teams like the Vikings, right? I mean, sometimes they come out and they light it up, and like Atlanta last week, right? 41 points against the Raiders, and then what? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Then today they're playing at home. They got Jones back. They got Gurley back, and they're playing against the backup quarterback, and they can't do it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
But
DK still hard for anybody to stop him. But I think the one thing that we talked about in the pregame was James Bradbury having to step up and have a big game, and he definitely did. I mean, that one tackle that he had, I don't even know. That was like a twister type of move where he was being blocked and like somehow like bent backwards and pulled the ball, like insane.
Yeah. That was he hurdled the tackler and in the air reached out and knocked the ball out of Lockett's hand, I think it was. Yeah, unbelievable.
That was crazy. So he ended up with 7 tackles, 5 solo, and a pass defense, but just all over the field. I mean, you talk about Jamal Adams. He, total 11 tackles. 8 solo tackles, a sack, tackle for a loss, 1 QB hit. But that's who he is. He was like that with the Jets. He's just pure energy, which is good. But James Bradbury stepped up, and he, watching that. I didn't watch the whole game, but I watched a good portion of that game. He was on DK quite a bit too, and he was holding his own. I mean, 5 for 80 for DK. That's what you expect. That's a pedestrian day for who he is. So, I mean, on 8 targets, 5 catches for 80, that was good. But man, that defense, Jim, like I texted you in the game, I had not seen that Giants defense play with such ferocity that I haven't seen that all season. Like, they were just hungry. That defense was all
Taylor
over.
was on the field. That's what it looked
like.
It was the days, right?
Yeah, it was the ghost of Lawrence Taylor out there, and they were just. I mean, Russell Wilson had no pocket space at all. That pocket would just collapse on him almost instantaneously. It was insane all day, just running for his life, getting hit, getting pressured constantly. So
he was trying to spin out. He spins right, he spins left. There's someone standing there waiting to grab him. It was crazy.
Yeah, that was
great scouting, great planning, and great execution, right? I mean, you could have all the plays written down and tell them you call it in, but if you don't execute, you got nothing.
Right?
And they did.
And then what's the most telling on that is the quarterback hits for the Giants. 10 QB hits as opposed to this Seattle defense, who they were saying was lights out now, had 4 hits on Colt McCoy all day on a career backup quarterback. 4
and they weren't
hits.
even hard hits.
Yeah.
He was just kind of like bundled up and fell. So, I mean, it was whatever.
Right. So just insane. I mean, that defense was just As John likes to say, that defense was just gangbusters all day, just gangbusters, right?
Gangbusters.
I got to get it with that Boston accent, gangbusters.
But
insane.
even DK on Bradbury at one time, he gets up, they stiff arms him purposely, and Bradbury takes him down. He takes him down right there. He doesn't get into the. He gets up, he shivers it off, he shakes it off. He's trying to fight. What? You stiff armed him, and Bradbury still took you down with your arm fully extended, stiff arm. So what did you do? Nothing. Nothing. He was trying to get his team fired up, I guess, but he, whatever. We got the win. That's all that matters. We went across the country and beat Seattle. Maybe the MVP, maybe the Super Bowl contenders. I don't know. We'll see, but. That's what you got to do. You got to play the best. Got to beat the best, right? That's how you. That's how you know where you are. So
yeah, and
even when you're back at quarterback,
I don't see Washington backing off at all. So I think it's going to be a two-headed race here for the end. With Philly's loss again today, 3 wins. They're all but out of it.
Pittsburgh. They're not going to beat Pittsburgh.
Right. So they're done. Dallas. I don't see Dallas making much noise. I think they'll be a little competitive down the stretch. Probably win a game or two to close out, but that's it. So it's going to be Giants and Washington coming out. Both defenses are playing outstanding. But if Jones could get back next week, I think that's going to be a very interesting. You wouldn't think of potentially two 5-7 teams, maybe after this week is over, being an interesting division to watch. But I think it's going to be one of the more exciting divisions coming down the stretch here. And I'm excited to see what's going to come of that. I think that's going to be good.
Yep.
So let's.
So how the hell did the Patriots, with a guy with a bad abdomen and throw for 50 yards, score 45 points? Tell me.
He threw for 69 yards.
That's right.
He threw for 69 yards. So I said last week, there's no way Belichick is going to let this rookie win a game. He's not going to. So let me tell you how they did it. It sure wasn't by passing. Okay, obviously not. It was 69 yards, but Cam decided to take some things on with his legs. I mean, he carried the ball 14 times for 48 yards. Not the greatest average, of course, with 3.4, but he did have 2 really good touchdowns, and he threw another one. But what they did was they put pressure on that quarterback the whole game. They had 11 hits on him. They had 3 sacks. A couple tackle for losses. They were just in the backfield. And I'm telling you, the most underrated guy on this team is Lawrence Guy. When he plays on that defensive line, they get pressure like crazy. And once again, he was in the backfield all game. He had a sack towards the end. What's his face had another interception. J.C. Jackson had an interception. I mean, it was just everything was clicking. We ran for 165 yards, I want to say.
Yep.
No. 165, and again, but Jarrett Stidham, 2 for 3, 61 yards and a touchdown. His quarterback rating is 149.3 today. Probably the highest.
2 for 3 and how many yards?
61.
61. He almost threw for as much as Cam did.
Oh,
so who knows what's in the future right now for the Patriot offense?
Well, it's not Cam Tebow. Let's just call him who he is.
No,
he's Cam Tebow. He's the next incarceration. Not incarceration.
He's incarcerated. He's incarcerated.
He should be. He's the next coming of Tim Tebow. Is what he is.
He is actually.
Incarnation.
He truly is. It truly isn't. But I'll tell you what. I agree, Carlos. Defensive special teams. We had a punt return for a touchdown and then a block punt. I mean, a block punt to end the second half to put us up 28-0. I mean, it was just a dagger right there. And
it was the field goal you're talking about, right?
Hold on. Let me see how it went down.
Right before halftime, it was like they were trying to kick like a 61-yard field goal.
Was it a field goal or was it a punt? Yeah.
No. Yeah, that McCourty ran back. That was they were trying to get something on the board before halftime, and
then they ran it back. So I'll tell you what, their D looked good. Their special teams, again, Belichick always has them. Their special teams is always money. Nick Folk is still kicking the ball really well. What scares me is Cam's passing yards. I mean, 69 yards. We're 6-6 now. So I really needed the Jets to take care of the Raiders today because they're still at the 8 spot. Baltimore's ahead of us. It's going to be really hard for us to make the playoffs. But I'll tell you what, we're on a little bit of a roll. I know I can't believe I'm talking this, but 45-0 against what ranked offense were they? Number 3, I believe.
Second,
right?
I think, in passing.
Second in passing. And Joe, I wanted to bring up a point here. They are now at plus 19 differential too, by the way. So they went from negative to plus. Well, of course, 45 points, helps. But but again, this was a game. I mean, the first drive we scored, and I'll tell you what, I could tell right away again, this is the second week in a row, I could just tell that the Patriots had this game. I can't explain it. I don't know why. But as I'm watching this, I'm like, they just look like they're into it. I mean, the D was playing good from the beginning. We went down. Cam rushed in for a touchdown. And honestly, I was never concerned about this game from the first drive on. I don't know, and I'll tell you what, they shut down Keenan Allen. I think he had 5 catches for like 49 yards or something like that. Here, let me check real quick so I don't. 5 for 48. Sorry, he had 5 for 48. They shut him down. Eckler didn't do much. I mean, Eckler had what? 4 catches for 32 and 36 yards rushing. So
it really doesn't make sense. I mean, they have the weapons. When it first scrolled across my screen, it was 14-0. And I thought, oh my God, here we go. Really? Are they really going to beat the Chargers now after we said there's no chance, or I said? But, I looked again. It was 20-something, 28-0, 35-0. What? 38-0? Oh my God.
Yeah, it was like every time.
I even know anybody on the team. Half the team is injured. They've opted out. There's nobody even there that I know, and offense or defense. And then this is what happens. I can't figure the Patriots out. I just can't figure them out.
No, it was and what's his? I'm not. Me and names. If it's not Samaje P. Ryan, I can't say it. So
oh God, you try
Gunnar Olszewski. How are they saying it?
Gunnar Olszewski.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, Gunnar.
Man, Gunnar. I don't even know who he is.
But old Gunnar, man, look what Gunnar did today.
A touchdown receiving, a touchdown on the punt return. That's the Patriots. I mean, it's just
and do you know who he looks like, Joe?
No,
he looks like your soon-to-be quarterback. You need to pull him up.
Really?
If you can find a video and post it real quick at the very end when he's sitting on the bench after the game. He even has this little bandana like halfway up his head. His locks are all hanging out. It's all long. And I even said to my dad, I was watching with my dad, I said, Dad, that looks like the quarterback from Clemson who's going to be on the Jets soon.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is, especially after this week. But
I'll tell you, I don't know. I don't know.
I do have to say, who caught the other touchdown today? For the Patriots, the presumed to be dead N'Keal Harry.
N'Keal Harry, 2
coming up big,
15 yards. Hey, I'll take it. Hey, hopefully this will get him going because we're going to need some passing yards in the next couple weeks. That's for sure. Yeah. Speaking of the next couple weeks, right now, so we're going to the Rams and then at Miami and then home against Buffalo and the Jets. You know what? I'm going to predict now they're going to beat the Rams next week. They may win out.
Oh God,
who may win out? Who?
The Patriots. You're hearing it here right now.
Who are they playing?
What's today? December 6th.
Yeah.
I'm saying
at the Rams, at the Dolphins, at home for the Bills, at home for the Jets. Yep. That Rams team, as much as I did not believe in it going into this year, they're in first place. I mean,
they are.
So
only for this week, though, Joe. Only for this week. I'm telling you, and I want you guys both to say there's no way. Jim, just say it now, and I'll sleep well for the next 5 or 6 days.
They're not going to win out.
Thank you. That's what I want to hear.
They're not going to win out.
Because I text Belichick every time you say that, and I'm like, because Bill and I have the same birthday, so we're kind of boys.
Your besties.
Okay. Good.
So I mean, I text him all the time. He just doesn't answer. But
don't feel bad. He doesn't talk to anybody.
He doesn't talk to anyone. So
that's right.
Right.
But I'm super pumped today. Super pumped. I mean, shout out to Boot. I mean, against a damn good offense, loaded with weapons, and we made him look like God, as they would say in Big Daddy, the goddamn Jets.
Who looked pretty good today, but
They did. God, I was hoping they were going to win. I was texting you guys. Oh, God, with 5 seconds left. I mean, we can segue into them now if you want, unless you guys want to talk more greatness about New England.
I don't know. What we got? Any no questions. Damn.
Nope.
Well, because we have one viewer. So, yeah, we could talk some Jets and how. I don't know. My wife said she's never heard me yell like that when that touchdown was scored at the end of the game. So she came running out, thought something happened to the kids. I was like, no. Like, I'm running around. Oh my God, I cannot believe it. Just crazy. I mean, I thought it was done. I was like, I'm sitting there like, it's almost like when you see those segues in movies where people like you go into like their thoughts and like what's going to happen in the future. Like my mind was just there after that Jets touchdown. They take the lead. And I'm just like, shit, is Sam Darnold going to be our quarterback next year? Like, what's that going to look like? I don't know what I'm going to do right now. I'm emotionally damaged goods. Nobody's going to want me. I can't even go to another team because, who wants to take this baggage on? I was in a bad place. I was in a really bad place. And they get the ball back. They score that touchdown with 5 seconds left. And my God. And I don't even know how it happened because Carr was making terrible throws. I mean, he had the play before that. He had Aguilar wide open. I mean, 3 steps ahead.
Back-to-back plays where the bad teams find a way to lose. That's how it happened.
Man,
right? When you're a bad team, you find a way to lose. And back-to-back plays, he overthrew Aguilar. And then the next play, he throws in a moonshot, and the guy beats him. And he's waiting for the ball to come down. He's standing there waiting.
Yeah,
here it comes.
Falling backwards, just heaves it up as like a please God, let something good happen. And
where the hell was the safety? Where was the safety on that play?
Right.
I don't know.
I would love to see Joe, if you can pull that one up. I'd love to see that highlight catch.
He was playing the run.
I mean, what else would you be playing with 10 seconds left?
Why isn't everybody at the goal line?
Yes.
Right.
I mean, they had to score a touchdown. They were down by 4, so even a field goal wouldn't help them.
Right.
They had no timeouts.
Yeah.
All you got to do is tackle them, and they're not going to get down there fast enough. Friggin' games.
Here's what else was wrong that the Raiders did. The drive before that last drive, they're on like they can get to the 3-yard line for a first down. And he's going for the end zone, All 4 downs, go. All you need is just go for the first down. Safety. That might be what happened.
I think they only had 9 men on the field.
I mean, why weren't they just trying to get the first down to get closer? Throw. I'm like, what are you doing? It's not 1st and goal or 4th and goal.
Right.
It was 4th and 2 or 3, and they weren't. Even the one he rolls out to the top of the screen. And I'm like, why isn't he just getting the first down and living for another set of downs? But
I mean, it was just Jets are awful. I mean, how can you? Where the hell was he? Well, I still want to know where the safety was.
Where's the play? Bring the play up. Let's see if we can. You got the telestrator where we can draw on the screen.
I can't draw on it, but maybe one day.
I just want to see where the safety was.
Let's dive.
Hold on. Let's count here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well,
okay, there's the safety. Okay, safety was in the middle of the field.
Okay, who's back here? One guy and nobody else.
Where was he?
Again, where was that half of the field?
Who was running down the middle?
Look, where do you see a Jet? There's one.
Look at that throw. Just like please God, let something good happen.
He's in the center.
Was 40 yards from him.
Right in the center of the field there.
Somebody was running. Whoever.
Yeah, May's right there. 20. Yeah, so he had man coverage on somebody else.
He did have to cover him, didn't he?
So if number 20 went over to Ruggs,
why were there 5 people rushing the passer?
Waller, or I didn't see who that was.
No. And all credit goes to ESPN on this, so for plagiarism rights. But so before we get in trouble for that, but that was insane. Just insane. I saw that the play before, like you were talking about, he throws it up, and I saw Aguilar's got him beat by like 3 steps, and I was like, there it is. That's a tie. And just he overthrew him by probably 4 steps. I was like, oh my God. And then he somehow gets that one. I could not believe it. But I really thought this game was over much, much sooner than it was. And because the Jets don't make double-digit comebacks. They were down by 15 points, I think, at one point, and they came back and did it. The defense played pretty good. I mean, are
you implying they make single-digit comebacks?
They don't really make any. Well,
that's what I'm saying. They haven't come back yet.
They haven't made any comebacks.
Well, I'm talking in the last 2 years.
They would lose a 0-0 game somehow. Somehow they're going to lose.
But man, Sam looked very pedestrian in this one. He had 2 fumbles lost. He had an interception, 2 touchdowns, 14 for 23, only 186 yards. So just another terrible game. I mean, no pocket awareness whatsoever. Just, gets the ball knocked out twice. It was really, really bad. Darren Waller on the other side, though. My God. 17 targets. 13 for 200 on the nose and 2 touchdowns. I mean, obviously not completely, but damn near whenever he wanted to throw him the ball, it was a completion. I don't know why David Carr had 28 passes completed, 47 attempts. He could have just thrown all 47 to Waller, and he probably would have caught 3/4 of them. I mean, he was unstoppable. They couldn't do anything to cover him the entire game. It was I saw that in the beginning, and it was almost kind of, John, how you were talking about from the first quarter, you knew the Patriots game was over. From the first quarter, I knew Darren Waller was going to have a career game.
You did. You were texting us.
Yeah, I told you. And I don't know if he's topped 200 yards before. I highly doubt it, because that's an outstanding day for any wide receiver, much less a tight end. So just crazy. And even Ruggs, 84 yards for him on only 3 catches. So
that last catch was probably 40 yards.
46 yards for that. So just insane. But I mean, what an emotional roller coaster it really was. It was just up and down. That team's still playing. I got to give them credit, because I can't imagine how you could show up to work in that organization every day, in that locker room, with the train wreck that it is, and still go out there and play your heart out. I mean, I know it's their job. I understand it's your job, but I think we all know when things get that bad, you go to work, but you're not going to that level. Like, you're not giving it that much. And they have not cashed it in, obviously. They wanted that game, and it went down to the very end. So kudos to them. That defense played strong. Ty Johnson, 22 for 104 once Frank Gore went out on that first carry with a concussion. Him and Damon Arnett both head-to-head just lowered their heads, went into each other like a bunch of rams, basically.
Yeah, that was a brutal hit. Yeah.
Done. So, yeah, Ty Johnson came in, and they had no answer.
That's the only reason you guys were in the game. When I saw Gore go down, concussion, I said they have a chance now, because now they can't just run him into the line.
Right.
And was it Adams? Is that the backup?
Adams, yep. 874.
Yeah, I was like, where was this? What were they saving this guy for Christmas? What are we doing?
No, Josh Adams was like the 4th string running back on the Eagles a couple years ago, and they cut him. They picked him up. He's been sitting on the practice squad, and Ty Johnson was released by the Lions earlier this year, and they picked him up. So 2 guys that were left in the trash heap by 2 teams just put up almost 200 yards rushing between the 2 of them. Crazy. 206 yards rushing as a team. They said that's the first time they've done it since like week 9 of 2018, I think it was. So just insane.
It was your boy's first touchdown, I think, since week 3, wasn't it? Darnold?
Yeah, so he came 3 passes shy of hitting that record we talked about. So he needed 8 more pass attempts without a touchdown to break Geno Smith's record, and he did it in like 6, I think it was, or something. So
that's a hell of a record. I mean,
he could have had it. He could have had it all to himself.
Smith. So, Joe, how much of you, though, as you were watching, take away the number 1 pick away? As a fan, were you like hoping, man, it'd be nice to beat the Raiders. You know what I mean? It would just be nice to beat the Raiders. Not at all.
No,
I mean, as a fan though, nothing inside of you was like, come on, Jets, just this one. You know, don't worry. We got the tiebreaker over Jacksonville. We're not going to win another game. Well, no,
we don't. One win, and it's done. Like that. I wanted Jacksonville to beat the Vikings so bad, only for the last week of the year that I can root for the Jets to beat the Patriots in the last week of the year. Like that was where I was at today. I was like, I don't care if we lose to the Raiders. I need Jacksonville to win one. So when that last week comes in, like we could hopefully knock you guys out. But I'm so
not at all. Just not at all. Not even a win.
No, I am so.
I don't know how you watched the game.
I'm so invested.
Please drop the ball. Please fumble.
Right.
That's what I say to the other team.
No, because if that happens, then this cycle of shit just continues. Like it's just so. I'm so mentally and emotionally invested in having that number one pick and having, and God knows if he's going to work out. But when you have somebody that's compared to Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck that could potentially be leading your team. It sucks. I don't like rooting for a loss, but the upside, there's got to be something because it's 10 years without a playoff appearance. 10 years of just this same shit year in and year out. So, yeah, do I want to see the team win? Yes, but I know it's not going to happen, and there's no benefit to it. If not, then we're looking at Justin Fields, or maybe, the Patriots don't win out, and then they're done at the end of the year. Then the Jets win 2 games. Now they're picking 4th or 5th. Then what? Now you got to make that decision. Are we picking up Sam Darnold's 5th-year option at $20 million? Are you going to sign him to a friendly contract for 3 or 4 more years and then continue this? Like, what are you going to? So this year is so important because if you get Trevor Lawrence, there's something there. If not, he goes to Jacksonville, and then it's like, okay, is Fields good enough? Is that the guy you want to go with? Are you going to take another offensive lineman? The Sewell kid from Oregon. So, and then what? You get excited like, oh, yeah, we got a right tackle and a left tackle that are outstanding, but Sam Darnold can't hold on to the ball, or complete passes. Like, he's not going to beat teams for you. So, yeah, I hate saying it because as a sports fan, you want to see your team win. That's why you watch sports. I hate every year going, oh, man, if we lose a couple more, we'll have a top 5 pick and we can get somebody that matters. And then what happens? We trade Leonard Williams to the Giants. We trade Jamal Adams to the Seahawks. Like, what are we doing? We're drafting first-round guys so we can give them to other teams for later picks. Like, that's all we're doing.
Both of those guys played great today, too.
They sure did.
So we can't continue this cycle of, oh, we've got the 7th pick. We're going to take this guy, and in 3 years, we're going to give up on him and trade him away and for a 3rd-round pick. Like, you can't turn a first-round pick, a top 10 pick, into a 3rd-round pick or into a late first-round pick. Like, that doesn't make you money. It doesn't make the team better when,
I completely get it, Joe, but this is what I want you to do. Watch an Ohio State game. I watched Ohio State play Michigan State yesterday.
Yeah.
Justin Fields started a little slow. I mean, Ohio State started a little sluggish.
Well, didn't he have 4 interceptions in the game?
I didn't. I mean, I was watching it sporadically here and there.
Let me jump over and take a look as you talk.
I don't think he threw 4.
Let's
Hold on
see.
a second. Because what I seen was about 100 and something yards rushing. Here, let's see here.
Where can I find it? There it is. Ohio State.
Where are those rabbits? Here we go.
Nope. 199 passing, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. And then
13
he also,
for 104 and 2 touchdowns. Was
13?
it the week before?
This week he was 17 for 24, 199, 2 touchdowns. And then rushing, he was 13 for 104 and 2 touchdowns. So he accounted for 4 touchdowns and 300 yards on his own.
Yeah.
Joe, you need to watch this guy.
It was the week before.
You need to watch him.
Against Indiana, he had 3 interceptions.
Yes, he did. That's why they were talking about him potentially being out of the Heisman. So,
right.
But I'll tell you what, watched him against Michigan State yesterday. God, that guy he's a big kid. And and he's just God. What is he like? 6'3", 6'4",
6'3", 228.
Yeah, and he's just watching him. I'm like, man, he just looks good.
Yeah,
but I get it. You can't pass on Trevor because he's a proven 2-3 year guy. So I completely get it. But number 2 wouldn't be so bad, Joe. Is what I'm saying. Number 2 wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah, and I mean either way, even if they win a game and you end up at number 2, after these last couple of years with Sam and seeing what he's done this year, you're moving on. You just have to, because you can't pick up that option.
Yes,
it's too expensive for a player that's 32nd in QB. He's like he's the lowest rated QBR in football. Like, it's just he's not progressing at all.
I mean, I enjoy it.
I'm sure.
I just to you, Joe. That's all.
I have no doubt. But yeah, I mean, either way, one of those guys, as long as the Jets finish in the top 2, are they're going to be wearing the uniform. And that's, I mean, we've talked about it week in and week out. You cannot win games in the NFL without an elite quarterback, unless you're the Patriots. And God, I can't even nobody could explain it. It doesn't make sense that
80 yards, win. 69 yards, win.
Right.
Bill Belichick.
That never happens
against 2 powerful offensive teams.
Yeah. So unless you've got an elite quarterback or Bill Belichick, you're not going to win games. Yep. You're just not. So.
But here's the thing, right? I mean, so this is like the fans' perspective, right? What you're talking about is you want them to lose, you want them to get Trevor, but you watch the Jets when they took the lead at the end, man, they were jumping up and down. They wanted the victory. They're not thinking about, I'll drop the ball so we can get rid of this guy so we can go get the other guy. No, they want to win. They want to taste that. And Jacksonville takes Minnesota to overtime. They're not laying down either. So both teams can easily take the low road and just hang out and not put anybody on the field and take the losses and get that top pick. And both of them are willing to risk it. They're both risking it because they don't really – it's not front and center for them for some reason. I mean, I guess Jacksonville's fine with Minshew and whoever else, the other kid that they got down there. But you look at the players, and the players are fighting, and I don't know what happened on that last play. So when Aguilar beats them, doesn't somebody say, hey, they're trying to win. Everybody play back. Isn't there a team captain on the defense that says back up? Isn't there a defensive coordinator calls timeout or something and says, hey, we got beat once. There's 5 seconds left. Everybody get to the goal line. Put in Mims and everybody to knock the ball down. I mean, why not? Put the tall receivers out there to knock the ball down. No, they don't do that. They let them beat them again. It was incredible.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for it. I really don't. It's.
But I mean, because they were trying. That makes me feel like maybe they weren't trying to win. But up until then, they were trying to win. 5 seconds left. Oh wait, we might win. No, let them beat you. Don't play deep.
But see, like that, like you're talking about though, like the players want to win because they have their contracts on the line.
Pride
like,
too.
You know,
pride.
Then why weren't they all back?
I don't know.
I know.
I don't understand it.
And
because they're the Jets.
The coordinators want to win because they're all getting fired. So if they don't show anything here at the end of the season, who's going to pick them up? You know, you're going to be coaching for some Midwest community college somewhere as a linebacker coach or something like that. That's the best you're going to do if you end up 0-16. Who's going to take you on? Nobody. So
let me see your resume. What did you do last year?
Right. 0-16. Yeah. No, we don't want you here. But you can go to Prairie Hills, Texas Community College and probably get on to a coaching staff there.
Junior varsity.
Right. That's where you're at. So of course they want to win games. And the players, a lot of Jets players are on 1-year contracts this year. So they're playing for next year. They want to get a contract. So if they look like shit and they lose all their games, what are they going to get? Nothing. Like, this is their job. I get it. They want to sign a contract that's going to take care of them because year in and year out, you don't know how many you've got. So
let's play man-to-man on the last play of the game.
Yeah. That doesn't make sense. Well, that necessarily wasn't the last play. You could have got like a 20 yards and out and had some time, but
they still had to score a touchdown.
They
were
did.
down by 4.
They didn't need a field goal.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody up on the line. It was only two guys deep. I mean,
why are you playing man-to-man? I mean, that's screaming a 3-man front and just see what you can do. I just don't get it.
That's a tough one, right? Because if they get through, on that blitz and take him down, that's it. It's game over, right? Like, so that's hard to say because a lot of times they fall back, you leave 20 yards open, grab it, go out of bounds. Now you're, 17 yards out, something like that. And now you've got the whole playbook open instead of having to go for a Hail Mary. So it's one of those, like,
I don't know.
If it works out, you're done. Turnover.
Prevent. Prevent.
But
That's
we've
all you
talked
gotta
about
do.
prevent defense oftentimes prevents you from winning the game. So because they
Yeah, but
just
that's
play,
in the
they
third
play so.
quarter, though. That's in the third quarter when you're playing not to lose anymore.
You've
This one, you're
seen
playing to
you've seen
win.
Brady do it how many times? Where he'll come in with a minute left in the game, the defense is playing prevent, and he's 15 yards, 18 yards, 22 yards, right down the field. Boom, boom, boom,
Carr,
boom.
though. We're talking about Carr, not Brady.
It's everybody. Once you play soft like that, you leave the whole field open. It's just easy. So
not with 10 seconds left, though. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I didn't understand it. When I seen the play, I was floored.
I agree at that point where they were, considering they were on their half of the field.
No timeouts. I mean,
Right.
even if they tackled them at the 10, 5 seconds is going to tick off that clock.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just going to.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no
They
way you're
wouldn't.
going to get down to even spike it.
Right. And that's why you can't let the safety's got to be deeper than that. But then again, he had a pickup man coverage as well. So somebody probably blew coverage somewhere that he had to be on man because he shouldn't have been on man coverage at that point.
Absolutely not.
So somebody before that blew coverage that he had to step into, which kept him from shading back. And that, I mean, Ruggs is fast as shit. Everybody knows that. He ran like almost a 4.2 flat or something like that in the combine. Fast as shit. Who's going to keep up with him? Not any undrafted cornerbacks from the Jets. Like, because that's who's starting is two undrafted guys, and then like a 5th or 6th round pick are our 3 cornerbacks. So it's not looking good, but it worked out. We snatched defeat from the jaws of victory as usual and kept it going. And I can only imagine
that's a hashtag right there.
Yeah, I can only imagine what the Jacksonville fan base is feeling like right now. Like watching that, like almost their team almost won a game to push them back. And I'm curious. I wish I knew some Jacksonville fans to find out, but like Bengals fans, they're so elusive that I don't know if they exist. But like, what are they? Like how I'd like to know if they feel the same way I do. Like they want to hold on to that 1 or 2 pick to get a quarterback in there to lead them somewhere, or if they want to win games. I would really love to know if like this is just me in like a fucked up fan base kind of way that I'm thinking this way, or if this is kind of normal. But I don't know. Nah, actually, this was the best Jets game we've had all year, I think. I mean,
but I will say it did sum up the season. They had the game won, and
right. Like there is no better way to lose that game. I liked seeing a competitive game. It was good to see the guys out there really playing, and it wasn't some blowout, disgusting, horrible game that it's hard to sit through. At least it was entertaining, and the team looked.
It was competitive. Yeah,
the team looked good. That's one. Like I want to see the team look good and lose. Like so, at least there's something there. You're like, all right, we've got some stuff to work with here, and we're going to have Trevor Lawrence next year, not just this fucking whole team of putzes that that you're going to be walking away from and starting from scratch. You want to see those young guys building, and then throw a couple pieces in there, like we talked about. Get some wide receivers, get that quarterback, build the defense a bit, offensive line, and basically still revamp the whole team. But I want to see the young guys really playing well, and I don't know. We'll see what it is. It was just such an emotional roller coaster today. I mean, everybody. I mean, John, you had it easy. That game was well in hand at halftime, and but I know Jim, you had to be nervous there coming into the end.
Listen, when it was 5-0 at halftime, I wasn't nervous. I thought, okay. I mean, we're not down 28-0. I mean, we have a backup in, and we're showing Seattle that they're not able to move the ball on us. Mm-hmm. And really, it was only 3 points that we gave up. The punt was just a.
Yeah, I mean, a safety is not the defense
play or whatever, but yeah.
So
3-0 at halftime. I mean, we had them right where we wanted them, and we took advantage in the second half. So, but yeah, to say that I want my team to play well and the players to do good, maybe for fantasy or for DraftKings or whatever, but I want them to lose. I've never felt that way about the Giants. I've never. I mean, I don't. I mean, have you ever felt that way about the Patriots? I'm glad they did. They're putting up a fight, but just at the end, I want them to fall short. I never felt that way.
I don't know. So
Ever.
the Patriots of the '90s.
Yeah, even back then.
What were you thinking watching those games?
So even the Patriots of the '80s, I always wanted them to win because it was so frustrating as a fan to get a top 10 pick every single year. And then one year we got one that was Irving Fryer. And then the next one I remember it was Drew Bledsoe. We took Bledsoe over Rick Meyer, so that worked out pretty good. But I never wanted him to lose because I never thought about draft picks like this. Yeah. Now, early in the year, if you remember me talking, I was like, you know what? Screw it. If we're going to come out and play like dog shit, because they did not look good. Patriots didn't look good during that losing streak of theirs. So that's when I was pissed off, and I said, you know what? Screw it. Let's friggin', let's get Lawrence. Let's get Fields into the mix. But now that they're winning, I mean, I'm happy. Even if we don't make the playoffs, even if we finish 8-8, I think it's a successful year. I'm going to hope I'm saying they're going to win out. I said 7-9. What's our record right now? 6-6. We're going to finish 10-6. I mean, I was off by 3 games. My bad, Bill. Don't be pissed off. I mean, I seen 7-9, and quite honestly, what pisses me off is I look back, and we should have won that Denver game. It was an awful loss. We should have beat Seattle for friggin' 1 yard, and then Buffalo. I mean, we were 18 yards short of kicking a game-tying field goal and fumbled the ball. There's 3 wins right there. We could, we could.
Wow, you sound like me, more like me every week. You sound. I feel like I'm listening to myself talk here.
Just so with a quarterback who's thrown for not even 200 yards in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
but he has like 5 touchdowns, and I'll take it. And I'll take it.
But see, you guys have never had. Well, maybe I don't want to say never. I don't know your guys' history that well, but 10 straight years of no playoff appearances. And with that, it wasn't. I mean, we were close 1 year, but most years it's done by Thanksgiving. It's by the beginning of December. I'm just looking to, all right, who's the college guys that are coming out this year that can make the team better, year in and year out for the last decade. Like, think about I'm to a point to where you can't just keep doing the same thing, right? Like, that's the definition of insanity, is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. That's what the Jets have been doing for 10 years.
Well, I would say more than so. Really, it's 50 years, right? Well, it's 50 years since they've made it to the Super Bowl, and no, we haven't experienced that because our teams have gone there and won there, and but yeah, I can't imagine. And there's got to be other teams like that.
The Browns, the Bengals.
Some of them haven't been around as long, but yeah, and we know guys that are fans of those, but it's got to be tough. It's got to be tough to be on that team, to be the head coach of that team, to be a fan in that fan base when you have season tickets and go to every game when every year they're 3-13. Oh my God, 50 years of nothing. That's what it is. My brother knows it too, but 50 years of nothing.
Nothing.
And they stay, and somehow the fans stay. I mean,
I wouldn't say. I mean, Rex did pretty good there for a couple of years, and he had something going, and then that momentum just came to a complete halt. It wasn't even like a slow decline. It was just like we're right there on the doorstep 2 years in a row, and boom. Yeah.
I thought he gave you the best chance, but I think in the last 50 years, I think there's only been one. So how many head coaches do you think the Jets have had in the last 50 years that have had a winning record?
Ooh. That's a good question.
50 years, how many coaches have, or at least 500?
I don't know. Well, while I look into that, why don't you answer this question from our fans?
From Zio. So can McCoy be the starter the rest of the season? I mean, if we need him to be. I mean, I'm glad. I said last week, I'm glad that we let whether we let Jones sit or not. I mean, it was fine having McCoy in there. Jason Garrett had the playbook open and felt confident enough, and McCoy looked good back there. We were comfortable with him as quarterback. He was making passes, and he was doing what he needed to do, and he didn't look out of his element. He didn't look like he was in trouble or uncomfortable. He looked fine. I thought he looked fine back there. I mean, yeah, he's a backup. He's been in the league 11 years or so. But I didn't see him make any bad choices, throw any balls up for grabs, do anything that he shouldn't have done, really. I mean, so I thought he was fine. And if he ends up starting next week again, I'm fine with it. We're playing at home. So you find any – so it says here, Google says no results found.
No. So,
I think there's one guy.
Bill Parcells is really the only one because Al Grobe only coached for 1 year.
Yeah, right.
He only coached 2000. He went 9-7. So that's a 500. And then Bill Parcells from 97 to 99 was a 604 winning percentage.
So
outside of that,
in 50 years, in 5 decades, 5 decades,
2 years. Yeah, 2 years.
Well, 97 to 2000. Yeah, so 3 years. Rex Ryan was 479 winning percentage. Eric Mangini was a 479 winning percentage. Herm Edwards was a 488. So close to mediocre, but not quite. So yeah, and then you have to go all the way back to Sammy Baugh back in 60 and 61. He was a perfect 500. Perfect 500. So
man.
yeah, it's not ideal.
The fans. I don't know if I told you. So last year, I had somebody had given me 2 tickets to a Jet game, and I'm parked in town, and I have the tickets on my passenger seat, and I had to run into a store. When I came out, they broke my window, my passenger window, and they left 4 more tickets and parking passes too. I couldn't believe it. Did I ever tell you that story?
What a dick!
I love that. I love that story.
Man.
I couldn't
think
believe
I'll have
it.
a similar one next week. I think
They left me a check for the window too.
Man. That's
oh boy.
And whoever said Jersey residents weren't nice. Huh? They get such a bad rap. They really do.
Oh my God.
I guess they're not as big of an asshole as you thought.
One of these days the Jets will move out
Oh God.
over in the Midwest, change their name. Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. New coach. We'll
New beginnings. New beginnings,
Yes.
Joseph. New beginnings.
2021 is either so 2020 is either the beginning of a really shitty decade or a one-hit wonder. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm hoping it's just 2020 and that's it. Right?
You got a fan voting. Here's what he thinks of the 2020 decade.
Yeah.
It's all
I
around
don't know.
him.
Let's hope not.
Technically, 2020 doesn't start the decade, I was told. And it's true. I had to look it up. It starts at 2021.
Oh,
so this is the end of your misery? Is that what it is?
This is the end of Joe's misery.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. That's
What's the name of the Doors song? The End, right?
This is the end?
This is the end?
Yeah, this is the end. We'll have to play that one of the, we'll play that the last game of the season, Joe, for you. Just a couple tidbits. I don't know if we can legally. I don't know how that is, but who knows? Maybe I'll have some music playing in the background just to kind of help you out a little bit. Because you're right, you should have a new coach. You know what, though? I hope you don't have a new coach. I hope somehow Gase stays.
There's no way.
Because he has something on the owner, like you said before. And, Jim, I'll tell you what, that for the rest of our lives, we can talk on this show and joke about how Gase is still the coach.
That would be something, wouldn't it?
That could just be the whole show. We don't even have to talk about the Pats and
I will definitely.
He's actually just going to be. They're going to move him to offensive coordinator instead.
There you go. To have him work with the quarterback,
and he could stand there with his arms folded and watch the game. So, no, it's going to be. He's got to go. If he's not, I'm out of here. So I'm putting in applications for a new team. So here's a good question. Would anyone be surprised and the Jets not draft?
Not one bit. Not one bit.
No.
Not one bit.
They need a safety.
They do.
That would be a disaster, right? I mean, they could end up taking another offensive lineman. Try and if Joe Douglas really believes in Sam Darnold, which I don't think he does, since that's not his guy. He didn't draft him. McCagnon did. So if Joe Douglas for some reason believes that Sam's got it, and I have no idea what he's seen that the rest of us haven't at this point, but if that's your belief, you trade out and you take the offensive lineman. But that's the only way I could see you not taking Trevor Lawrence. Or he just comes out and says, I won't play for you, because then, all right, trade out of the pick. But outside of those things, like if he's available, you take him. You just have to.
I wonder if another team gave, a king's ransom for the first pick, would the Jets just swap out?
I don't know. I mean, you've got to.
It would have
somebody that's number 8 or something, and say, hey, we have the Bears or somebody that need a quarterback.
It would have to be huge. You know what I mean? I mean, he's saying multiple picks. I think we're talking like at least four first rounders.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way they would even probably think of doing it. Because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they already got Seattle's. I mean, they have tons of draft picks this year, and they got tons of money. So what would it take to move out of number 1, maybe to like a number 4 to get another quarterback, maybe? And a king's ransom, though, Joe, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Maybe like move to 4 or 5 and get 3 or 4 more picks. That'd be the only way. I mean, because you can almost demand it with the way either Lawrence or Shields is going to be projected to go. I mean,
I don't know. That's that whole risk reward thing. Like you're giving away, obviously scouts, but I mean, he's played great in college too. Even coming into college, he was scouted higher than everybody else.
Yeah.
He had a 99 scouting grade, which is ridiculous. So you're willingly handing that off. And then you've seen him play in college and it's legit. Yeah. It wasn't, he hasn't regressed at all. And so if you're giving up the rights to him and to Justin Fields just for extra first round picks, and you're giving him to a team that's going to now have an elite quarterback. So what are those picks going to be worth? They're not going to be most likely. You can't bank on those being top 10 picks for the next 4 years to where you're just pulling in blue chip guys. You're looking at mid 20 picks or potentially 32nd pick if he's as good as he says he is. If you put him on the Bears with that defense, you re-sign Allen Robinson, that you're not getting good first round picks from that. You're just, so maybe, I don't think so. I think it's too much to give up for what you're getting back. Now, if this was a quarterback class to where, you had, kind of like the Baker Mayfield, Allen, Lamar Jackson, Sam Darnold, a couple years ago, that maybe, but after this, it's like Trey Lance, who's played one season, half a season, I think it is. The BYU kid, what's his name? Zach something or
well, you got the Alabama quarterback too now.
Yeah, you got Mac Jones.
They're
projecting him to be either a late first or early second. So you're not second, right? Yeah. So if you trade back to 8th, you're not taking a quarterback that high.
No.
Why would you waste that first round pick on? There's no quarterback.
I don't think they would, but I mean, they would just have to receive like something to blow their minds away, and then maybe be targeting like a Matt Ryan in the offseason or a Matt Stafford or somebody. I hate to even say Matt Stafford because he is a tough guy, but I mean, I would say like maybe somebody like Matt Ryan to come in who probably needs a change of scenery out of Atlanta after the Patriots came back.
Yeah.
And the Super Bowl, and they haven't been the same.
and even if, say
I broke him.
If Sam,
that whole team broke him.
Yeah. If Sam Darnold played since last game, this game, the remaining 4 games, if he played those really well to give you hope that, okay, there's something here. Yeah. You could say, all right, we'll take 4 first round picks for the number 1 spot, and we'll move back, grab an offensive lineman, protect him, get some wide receivers, put weapons around him, and this is our guy. But he's come back and he's looked like shit. He's looked extremely pedestrian. And like you said, outside of that running game, which, I mean, they Mekhi Becton was opening holes like crazy over there, and they were just
big.
It was wide open lanes. You could have ran through there for 80 yards, but I don't see it. I can't see how you could take that chance. But it would be nice if that was available and you could say, hey, Sam might be the guy. Let's put some weapons there and just stock up. I mean, if you had Seattle's first round pick and then the Bears first round pick for the next 4 years or Indy's first round pick for the next couple years, and man, that'd be nice. But
Well, and Donald wants to win, right? He wants that job security. he doesn't want them taking another quarterback and him getting knocked out and playing wherever. So I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. I don't even know who the Jets are playing Seattle next week, so there's no chance that I'm winning there. Who else are they playing after that?
The Rams.
New England, the last game of the season.
Yep. They got the Rams, the Seahawks, and who am I forgetting? The Browns. That's not necessarily in that order. Seahawks, Rams, Seahawks, at Rams, at home against the Browns, and at the Patriots. So I don't know.
Both New Jersey teams fly to Seattle and beat them back to back.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think Jamal Adams is going to let it happen.
Oh my God, that's the game to watch. To watch what he does because he was fired up against the Giants today. Wait till next week. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's gonna want some heads.
Or will if the Patriots aren't in a playoff spot or potential playoff spot the last game of the season, do we see a combo of like Mr. Stedham and maybe even Hoyer out there just to keep Cam healthy for next year? You know, because it's looking like we're probably going to end up keeping him. I think. I don't know, but could you imagine? It comes down to the Jets.
Oh, that would be
New England.
We'd have to do the show live during the game.
Oh, I would
have the game on the screen.
Oh, I mean, not that Belichick would ever want to lose to the Jets, but to just make them think, okay, you know what?
Yep.
Hey, we may be able to win this game, and we may not have the number one pick. I don't know.
I don't know if he would do it. I
don't think he would. I don't think he would ever throw a game. I don't. But I could see him playing Stidham just to see what he has.
Right. He won't throw the game, but he'll like you said, he'll start Bobby Hoyer, and Bobby Hoyer can throw 3 interceptions in the first half. Let him finish the game out.
Hey, Bobby, good luck. We're going to cut you at the end of the year. Have fun the second half, man. Air it out. Air it out a la Brett Favre style and just chuck it across the field. We're good.
We'll see. Unfortunately,
look at Joe. He's getting upset. He's getting mad.
I can't think about this. I can't think about this for the next month. I can't. I haven't had ulcers yet.
Is that Christmas Eve? Is that New Year's Eve?
No.
Oh man, we might have to do the show live during the game if it's New Year's Eve.
No,
what day is it?
I think it is.
And then just get smashed on TV.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Man, I'm good.
Makes good entertainment. But yeah, the Jacksonville Jaguars, I don't know. I thought the Vikings that they could potentially take down, but now they got the Titans, Ravens, Bears, and Colts left. And I don't know. I mean, maybe the Bears because that offense looks terrible, but who knows? The Ravens, maybe. They've been playing bad. But I think the Vikings was their best chance of getting that second win, and they just couldn't do it. So it sucks. But such is life. Anyway, all right. So you guys got anything else you want to drive home before we wrap this up?
No, I don't think so.
It was a great Sunday. Very, 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 very good weekend.
Man,
gotta say.
Yep. And like I said in the opening, the wildest weekend in memory for all 3 of our teams. Just insane. So
we all got what we wanted. We all got what we wanted.
We're all
the game is January 3rd. It's not New Year's Eve.
Yeah, I see that.
Yep, perfect. So maybe 2021 will start with a high note there for me. As long as the Jets lose that game, 2021 starting perfect. So
with the number 2 pick, the New York Jets select safety from North Dakota State University, Michael Smith.
Their number 3 safety on the team. He didn't declare for the draft. You guys can't draft.
Oh my God!
He's only 5'8", but boy, he's quick.
He plays on the badminton team. He's not an NFL player. Oh,
what did they say about who's the Ted Ginn? Remember when the Saints drafted him? No, wait, was it the Saints?
No, it was the Raiders.
The Raiders. Wait till you see him return punts with like a number 5 pick. Wait till you see him return punts.
Well, that's the Raiders.
That was their selling point.
Yeah. Well, that's all the Raiders do is draft the fastest wide receiver every year.
I know, but still, I mean, to say wait till you see him return punts, it's like, really? That's what we just put a first-round pick in.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I guess they were expecting to be a really good defense and just not have to have an offense on the field.
And just return punts for touchdowns every game.
47 punts return for a touchdown this year. But
it's a new record.
Yeah, and one touchdown thrown for the quarterback. So anyway, all right. So we'll be back probably Thursday to Wednesday or Thursday. We'll try and get a preview show up so you guys know when we're going to do it. But we'll get into week 14 or week 14, excuse me. What's to come for that one? You guys got some big games. I think I can finally relax now. Seahawks are going to be should be an easy win. It just sucks that I'm like 40 minutes away from the stadium and I can't go to the game. And even if I could go to the game, I don't want to go to the game. So it kind of sucks. Once every 8 years they come to Seattle, and I don't know if I'd want to show my face at that game much.
Of course you would.
I
show up with a trash bag over your
head. I would probably still go, but they don't have any fans, which sucks. So I would go and probably wear my Jamal Adams jersey and then throw it at him. So, traitor.
Actually, you can wear your Jets Jamal jersey. They don't know who you're rooting for.
Right. Right. Yeah. Right. I'm too poor to buy a Seahawks jersey. So, no. Anyway. All right. So we'll be back. Like I said, we'll figure it out. We'll coordinate our schedules, but we'll get the word out to you guys and let you know when we're going to do the show. We'll break down week 14, what's to come with that. So until then, you guys enjoy your victories for all your teams, making headway. The Giants holding on to first place. Patriots are still climbing up into a playoff spot, and they've got some mediocre teams ahead of them that they could easily jump. So Jets continue to hold on to Trevor Lawrence at number 1. So again, thank you all for participating, getting your questions, your comments in. Thank you for making it fun. Please subscribe, hit that bell, join us, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and please, friends, family, whoever's watching this, if you just enjoy the show, please share it with your friends. Help us get the word out. Help us get some traction so we can really start to grow. So until next week, again, enjoy it, celebrate, have a great week, and we will see you guys